Why Black Americans wash the meat before cooking. A lot of it comes from their parents etc. culture. So I had black friends whose parents were from Ghana, where they would often buy chicken from an open market. The chickens aren't wrapped and have sometimes been left out in the sun for a lot of the day. Dust and pollutants from moped etc. exhaust fumes will have settled on it. So when they get it home they give it a wash with water. Usually at the outside tap so it isn't getting chicken juice all in the house. And a scrub with lime, lemons. This gets rid of all the dust and the smell it's gotten during the day, and then they get on with cooking it. Then his parents moved to the UK but continued to wash their chickens like this. Even when bought wrapped from Tesco. When they taught their kids to cook, they included washing the chicken. Some of the kids realized how silly it was to do with a Tesco chicken and stopped, but some continued the tradition. I imagine it's similar to some black folks living in the US. Like, it is necessary, but there is an understandable reason for it in some circumstances. I'm black and people who do it are convinced the chicken is unclean without it. I always check to see if my fam is looking when I skip cleaning the chicken to avoid this whole conversation. Skull. Pro tip: pat a piece of paper towel on your chicken before cooking. It gets extra crispy. Washing raw meat, especially chicken, in your kitchen sink is not a good idea as it sprays raw chicken juice everywhere. I can't look at the comments in TikTok cooking videos because of morons bitching about cleaning your meat and wearing gloves. These are the questions I sub for. If you are in a Western country, advise if to not wash the meat. When you travel to Asia and other parts of the world, advise as to wash the meat. Both parties are doing just fine. If you are going to wash it, then you need to ensure water doesn't spray everywhere and your sponge, which can be a breeding ground for bacteria, is flushed in antiseptic or hot water after. They think it cleans the chicken. It does not, and is actually way worse and breeds bacteria. Also, it's not really specifically a black thing. It's not just black Americans. It's Caribbeans too. Historically, black people did not have access to fresh and healthy meat. This meant that there could be bugs and other things that got into the food. Washing meat helped lower the chance of getting sick and eating something that isn't supposed to be in the meat. It also washed away the parts of the meat that may have spoiled. It's something we have kept to this day even though we don't need to. It's just a cultural thing that's left over from the past trauma of poverty. I'm Asian. My mother washes meats off before doing seasons. Heat kills all bacteria. OFC, she will clean the sink with bleach every time. I feel fine. I know it's weird, but just this way we do. No sick person shrugging. I wash and dry my meat before cooking and I am as white as fresh snow on a sheet of copier paper. Soaked in white out. Probably out of cultural habit. Like how Mexicans will visually inspect beans for little rocks out of habit. Even if it was 100x cleaned beans. Everyone used to wash meat before cooking. It was pretty standard practice until recently. Especially with chicken, to wash off the bacteria. When studies showed that washing meat actually just caused more bacteria to be splashed around the kitchen and increased the likelihood of food poisoning, they bought in recommendations that you now just pat the meat with paper towel before cooking. I'd suggest it has more to do with if you get your cooking advice and recipes from. If you're learning from grandma, you'll cook grandma's way, which is the old wash the meat school of cooking. If you're teaching yourself, you're most likely learn to cook from recipe books or other media, where the don't wash the meat method is standard. I think it says more culturally about how recipes are handed down than anything else. Because it'll be seasoned with chlorine. I'm white and I rinse meat off. I just do it to get rid of the slimy juice from being packaged. My grandparents did this when buying chicken from a chicken farm, with it not always being clean. But with modern chicken and meat, you just bring it up to temp and that is it. I've never seen anyone wash their meat. You just pat it dry. German here though. Our meat is generally safe and clean. If you buy some kinda meat that comes with the bone still in, then you should rinse that though to get rid of the bone splinters. I didn't know this was black people specific. I thought everyone did this, at least with red meat. I'm white as a sheet and I wash meat before I cook it. It's not just a black thing. Wash your chicken with vinegar and clean your sink with bleach after cleaning the meat. Simple.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. TooAfraidToAsk is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.